Hello and welcome to AGORACOM Small Cap Stock News. This is our In the News show we do on a weekly basis for August the 14th, 2014. I'm your host, Alan Barry Labucan. I'm also the Chief Market Commentator for AGORACOM. Last week, unfortunately, I was feeling under the weather, so we weren't able to do our weekly show. Recently, we switched the format of the show from a daily show to a weekly show. So what I do is go over a bunch of press releases every day, and then I try to find the best ones to bring to you on a weekly basis. So because we missed last week's show, I've got quite a few companies to talk about today. I think there's 13 in total. I'm going to work through them as quickly as I can, but again, to do each one proper, I can't do them too quickly. So this show might go into the 15-20 minute range. Don't worry, you can hit pause on the show and come back and enjoy it halfway through as well. So I'm going to get started right now. And the first company that I wanted to talk about is Almaden. Almaden Resources. I'm just going to pull up their news here. Almaden Resources recently had a news release out regarding their drilling on their project in Mexico called the Tolixtic project. Before I get started on the company, their stock symbol is AMM, trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange under that symbol. Then it also trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol AAU. So again, this drilling was from their Tolixtic project in Mexico. They hit some very nice grades in that drilling, so that caught my attention. This company has more than one project, and they're pretty good at delivering good drill results. I wouldn't say that they're a very promotional company, but they definitely have some good projects. Now the stock has been kind of going sideways for them since April. Right around anywhere from around $1.40 to a little over $1.60. You know, I think one of the things that can help them break out is I think that we're in a bit of a lull period here towards the end of August. And I think that a lot of gold stocks are primed to go up as we go into the fall of this year. And I also think that they'll be enhanced by gold performing better. So putting that combination together, this is one of the reasons that I brought up Almaden Minerals. Almaden Minerals, like every other company that I'm going to talk about today, are the companies that I'm considering for an upcoming show that we're doing, George and I, and we're going to be bringing a lot of companies to you because I think that we're in a very good time to be picking away at these oversold gold and silver stocks and other commodities as well. So we'll get on to the next company. The next company that I wanted to talk about is Canamex Resources. Canamex Resources stock symbol is CSQ. They trade on the Venture Exchange. They've been back in the start of the year, they were trading a little over a nickel. And since then, they've moved up to a little over 20 cents. But what caught my attention with these guys is their recent drilling results. They had some drilling results from a project in the Bruner Gold project, which is in Nevada. And this project, they had a 30-foot intersection, or 9 meters, of 11 grams per ton gold. That works out to around a third of an ounce, sorry. They had another hole there that looked pretty interesting as well. So, you know, this is a little bit of a quiet junior that hasn't had a lot of attention over the last year or so. But anytime I see some very good grades in projects in Nevada, I pay attention. This is one I think you want to do your homework on. Let me just look. The stock symbol again on those guys is CSQ, and they trade on the Venture Exchange. Next company up is Midway Gold. Midway Gold is a company that I've been following for quite some time now, for about 4 or 5 years. And the stock has been sort of flatlining. It had a bit early in the year. It had a good run from around December of 2013 until around late April or mid-April of 2014. And then they kind of went back into this trend, sort of sideways. But it's a sideways action, and in the last month and a half, it looks like it has an upwards bias. Those are ones that I really like, those kind of stock charts. And then always on the look at things fundamentally as well. And they had good results from their project down in Nevada as well, their Spring Valley project. They had significantly upgraded their resource and had a 2014 budget increase. So they're going to be spending a lot more money down there. And they have various work goals that they're going to be looking at. Midway's stock symbol again is MDW. They trade on the Toronto Exchange. I'm really liking what I'm seeing with that stock symbol, or with that stock. The next company up is a software company. Actually, this company is called Redknee Software, in addition to into watching commodities very closely, I also watch technology companies very well as also, and Redknee's in that camp now. They had some good news out. They announced that they signed a order for a $17 million order coming in to the company from a leading group operator in the EMEA space. What Redknee does is they help other companies to maximize the potential for monetization on their websites and subscriber management software. So this is a really interesting space for me. It's one that I follow very closely, and this Redknee has some good news out. Now, what also brought my attention is I like contrary plays too. And part of contrarian plays is you want to watch for stock companies that are trading near their 52-week low. That's exactly what Redknee is right now. And this is a company that's high on my list of that I'm considering for our upcoming stock pick show. And I like what I see with Redknee. Their stock symbol is RKN. Yes, RKN, and they trade on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Next up is a company called BSM Technologies. BSM Technologies is another company that I've picked before. I still like what I'm seeing with the company as far as developing their moving their company forward. But the stock has been under a lot of pressure this year. It started the year, it was trading on a 52-week high, and it had a period of that previous year, 2013, was very good for the company. It was one of those stock charts that goes from the bottom left to the top right. But then after they got to their high of $3.40, or sorry, $3.45, they've been under a lot of pressure, and this is despite the company, like for example, having very good results. They have in their last announcement on August the 11th, they announced that they had reported 46% recurring revenue growth in their third quarter. That's spectacular type of growth, and I've seen nothing but good news out of this company. And it seems like ever since they announced a financing that they needed to help grow the company, because it is an early stage sort of tech startup, just been under a lot of pressure. But I do think that the stock is now bottoming. I'm liking what I've seen a lot with BSM Technologies, and I think you want to take a look at this stock. Their stock symbol again is GPS. They trade on the Toronto Exchange, I believe. The next company up is GGI. Garibaldi Resources. Before I get started, Garibaldi is both a client of AGORACOM, a sponsor of AGORACOM, and also a sponsor with a banner sponsor on my website. So I wanted to get that out of the way first. Because of those conflicts, I'm not going to talk a lot about the stock chart. What I will talk about, though, is the recent news that they had out. They had some very good news. Garibaldi confirmed the discovery of a shallow high-grade system at their Silver Eagle target in Mexico. In some of those results, for example, they had excellent drill results. Approximately 4 to 5 meter depth, they hit 1,935 grams per ton silver, which works out to 62.2 ounces per ton silver. It's the farthest step out from their previously reported discovery hole, so that's very encouraging as well. And then they've been able to identify other targets that also include some gold in there as well that look really good at Silver Eagle. And then they're in the quote from the president and CEO of Garibaldi, Steve Grossi. He does a good job there of indicating, that the company has 3 key projects that they're going to be working on. Rotadero North, which is where this Silver Eagle target is. They've also had good results at La Patilla, which is also in Mexico. And then they have a project up in British Columbia called the Grizzly Project that looks very good as well. Garibaldi's stock symbol is GGI, and they trade on the Venture Exchange. Next up is Klondex Mines. Klondex Mines, sorry, I just got to pull it up here. Klondex Mines is a company also that I've been following for quite some time, for a few years actually. And Klondex had some very good results out recently. I'm just getting that news release up here. Sorry, they're down 3 cents today. The stock has been sort of trending sideways for since April. I'm looking for better performance. They had some very good results out there on their latest quarterly report. They had income of $4.4 million. That's increasing from revenue was $36.4 million for the second quarter from the sale of 25,000 gold equivalent ounces. There's a lot of good details in there. Cash flow provided from operating activities was $14.2 million, cash balance of $15.1 million at the end of the second quarter, working capital of $21.2 million at the end of the second quarter as well. So some really good news. I really like this company's projects down in Nevada, and I think that they've got a lot of growth ahead of them. KDX is their stock symbol. They trade on Toronto. The next company up is Premier Gold. Those that have been following our shows know that I'm a big fan of Premier Gold. Premier Gold, just pulling it up here, they've kind of been going, they had a bottom in late 2013, late December of 2013, then had a good run until about the beginning of April. Went sideways for a little bit, had another big run up, and now have gone sideways. It's kind of up, sideways, and I think they're ready to make their next step up. They just announced that they have consolidated 100% interest in their Cove McCoy properties. This is part of an announcement with Newmont Mining. And you can see all the various different details of what that required. The Cove McCoy mine is one that they've been getting a lot of really good results from, gold property, sorry. And I like what I see with not only this project, but they have 2 other multi-million ounce gold projects as well. And so, Premier Gold is a great company that I like a lot. The stock symbol for them is PG. They trade on the Toronto Stock Exchange. take a look at their whole portfolio. I like everything they're involved with. Next company up is Fission Uranium, another one that viewers of the show have heard me talk about before. Fission had been in kind of a sideways action for a couple months until recently, when it broke out of that and it broke above the last high. That's a very good sign for the stock. I don't have any shares in it, but my mom, she'll be happy to know that the stock is doing that because she owns some shares. For example, they had 3 great results out since my last show. 21.97% uranium over 10 meters in their last drilling hole. Just exceptional. And that's not the only good hole in that drill. You can read that latest press release. Then they found significant radioactivity 17 kilometers away from their main PLS discovery. So they still got plenty of exploration potential wide open on the project. And it seems like every time they go after a new target on the project, they find something very exceptional. Fission Uranium is a company that I see as a takeover target in the near term. When I say near term, I'm looking at 1 to 2 years. Bear in mind, I've probably been saying that for 6 or 8 months. Take that into consideration as well. Yeah, I like Fission a lot. FCU is their stock symbol. They trade on the Venture Exchange. Next company up is Dalradian. Dalradian is a company that it has a gold discovery in Northern Ireland of all places, but it's been doing very good. When I first started following the company, it was in the early stages of their first batch of drill results out, and having a little bit of computer problems here getting Dalradian up. It doesn't seem to want to participate right now. No worries. I know the Dalradian story very well. The stock has been improving a lot lately, and they've been doing some big financings. They've got a really good gold project. I think that they've got a lot of good growth ahead of them. DNA is their stock symbol. They trade on the Toronto Exchange. Next company up is, sorry, I'm going to pull it up here now that my computer's working again, is New Gold. New Gold is one of the companies that is a mid-tier producer that I really think has a great future ahead of it for growth. They've had kind of from early, just in the last 6 months, I've seen a big cup, and now they've had the handle. This is a very good stock formation. I think it's ready to go to the upside. The price of gold will help, and then they've got good results. You look at the recent results, and in their quarterly report, all-in sustaining costs, $745 per ounce of gold, which decreased by $186 per ounce compared to the second quarter of 2013. So they're driving down their cost of producing ounces of gold. This is one of the lowest cost producers in the industry. They had gold production of 89,000 ounces, copper production of 25.5 million, a net earnings of 8 million compared to 4 million this time last year. Net cash generated from operations increased by 33% over the previous quarter of last year. They've got $414 million in cash and cash equivalents at the end of the quarter. I mean, just a lot of really good information in there about New Gold. New Gold has several good projects. I like their future. New Gold is a company that I think has a very strong growth profile ahead of it. NGD is their stock symbol on the Toronto Stock Exchange. And the last company today is Lakeshore Gold. Lakeshore Gold the stock has been performing exceptionally well since this time last year when it was trading at around 40 cents. It's had a strong trend in the stock that moved it up to $1.27. So the company has been doing very well. And then you look at the news for them as well. They had a very good quarterly report. Their record production of 52,000 ounces, which is 70% increase from the second quarter of 2013. Cash operating cost per ounce. Oh, so I like to use the all-in sustaining cost. That's more important. $784 per ounce, which is another very low-cost producer, and that's a 38% improvement over the same quarter last year. Total production cost of $32.5 million, higher, which reflects higher volumes of material from this time last year. Cash and bullion increased to $14.3 million, or increased by $14.3 million, and they had at the end of the quarter $53.4 million of cash and bullion holdings. And there's plenty of good information. They also give you a summary of the first 6 months. So take a look at Lakeshore. They trade on the Toronto Stock Exchange under the symbol LSG. So again, as I said at the start, I had a lot of companies to talk about today, but you know, that's the nature of the show. We look for the good companies. There's lots of good companies out there that have really good results. That's why I wanted to talk about them today. This is in preparation for a show that George and I are working on. We're going to be bringing a lot of good picks to you because we think that it's a really crucial time. You get a couple of opportunities in the due to seasonality. We're at one of them right now, and I'm going to be talking about that soon in a show with George Chiolis, the founder of AGORACOM. He and I will be doing our show when we do it together. And before making any investment decisions, as always, it's important for you to do your homework and speak with your financial advisors. On that note, you have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.